Why did I miss that shot? Today we're gonna talk about the main reason most players miss their layups. And for a lot of players, it has nothing to do with your technique, your footwork, any of that stuff. It's simply what you're aiming for on the backboard. Today I'm gonna show you exactly what you should aim for on bank shots, on layups, and a variety of different layups, because there's a lot of different ways you can finish around the rim so you can make more of those shots. Coach Jesse Muench with Get Handles Basketball, where we train harder and smarter so you can play like the pros. If that's something you're looking to do, make sure you click that subscribe button and that little bell icon, and make sure you turn on all for the notifications. Be sure you stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm gonna have a unique drill that's gonna help you take all these keys and put them into your game quickly. So let's talk basics. Usually, like on a layup, I try to aim for that top corner or right above the middle. So you'll notice if I hit this top corner right there, I'm usually gonna get a pretty good bounce off the rim. If I go a little more slightly above the top of the middle of the square or right at the top middle of the square, usually it's gonna go in nothing but net. That's when you're attacking from this angle or taking a jump shot like a bank shot. You would want to aim for one of those two spots, and you'll usually get a really good bounce. Click that like button if those tips helped you, but that's just your basic layup. We all know in game situations, things don't work out that way, right? You don't always get a nice, easy layup coming directly at this angle, so you have to be able to adjust. The rest of these tips are going to help you with what you should aim for when you're moving different directions, or maybe trying to finish on a different area of the backboard, or even using ball spin. All right, so one of the biggest layups we got to talk about is when you're coming across the rim, whether we're talking kind of diagonally this way or even coming baseline for more of a regular reverse layup. And you might need to tweak this a little bit depending on how you finish with your layups. First of all, your body is coming this way, right? So your momentum is carrying you this way, so you have to compensate for that. When you're going for these layups coming across the rim, you don't want to aim for that same spot, because not like right now where I'm standing still, again, that momentum is carrying me this way. So I need to throw the basketball further across that way. So what I'll tell players for this type of a finish is, if they're coming this way, do one of two things, or maybe both. Either A, aim for right over the top of the backboard, right above the square there, or even if I'm coming to this side, the opposite corner. You probably won't end up hitting that corner, but aiming for it will help you mentally make the adjustment you need to make up for that momentum carrying you this way. The other thing you might want to do with these, and especially if you're coming more baseline coming this way, is adding some ball spin into the mix. If that's the case, you can get away with hitting it a little bit further out to the side, because that spin will help carry it across the backboard. If you don't know how to do that spin, basically your hand will be under the basketball and it's going to rotate out like that, but just do it quick. Curl those fingers in and twist that wrist quick. That'll put that spin on, so when it hits the backboard, boom, comes across. Adding a little of that spin could maybe help you out too if you're still having a hard time getting it all the way across the backboard. And as you'll notice, you get a nice soft bounce off the backboard. But this is just part of the equation. There's two other main things we want to keep in mind with finishing around the backboard: goofy hand finishes and trying to adjust your shot for defenders. Let's talk about those. Well, leave me a comment down below. Let me know who you think is the best in the game at finishing around the rim right now. Is it Stephen Curry, James Harden, Kyrie Irving? You let me know. Okay, before we talk about how to finish over defenders and adjusting your shot for that, we want to talk about goofy hand finishes, which is basically left hand on the right side or right hand on the left side. Little pro tip for all these finishes, any of your finishes, period, around the rim where you're using the backboard, I always tell my players, pay attention to how you're missing. So a lot of players, they'll just keep missing layups and they'll get upset. But I tell them, why are you missing? And almost always it's because they're consistently missing a certain way. They're missing short, they're missing short, they're missing short, or they're missing long, they're missing long, they're missing long. And they keep doing it over and over and over again. And I say, just pay attention to how you're missing. And it's very easy now to make that adjustment. So if you're missing, first of all, make sure you're aiming for something on the backboard. And then once you're sure you're aiming for a spot on the backboard, you can say, okay, I'm missing short and I'm aiming right here on that top corner. So maybe I should aim for right there. Instant adjustment you could make. And now, boom, you'll start making more of those shots. So goofy hand finishes. There's two variations of this again, right? You could be coming right at the rim, and maybe for some reason it's quicker to get the shot off this way, or it gives you protection from your defender, so you need to finish with this inside hand. In those situations, I really like to finish a little tighter to the backboard, so just barely hitting the middle of the side of the square. I find that works well for me. Again, you might need to adjust. You might still want to go for that corner on the top right. That didn't work out so good for me. Or you might even want to aim for the middle of the square. Go with what works for you, but those are the spots for me I find really work well. But going reverse goofy hand is going to change things, because what you'll notice is, again, my body's carrying me this way, right? And you can't put this same ball spin on like this, because if I do that, the ball goes the wrong way. What you want to do in that instance is focus on having your hand curl the other way. Have your hand from behind the basketball, then come under from the outside and add a little more twist to it. Now you probably won't be able to get a ton of spin on like that, but just adding a little bit will help compensate. And again, when you're going for those finishes, try to aim further this way because your body's carrying you this way. So instead of aiming for right there like you normally would, try to hit more on that corner if that works for you, or maybe slightly above, and those spots should probably end up with you making the shot. Again, pay attention to what you're aiming for and if you're making or missing. The other thing you could do with all these ones where your body's carrying your momentum one way and you're finishing the other is to really focus, whether we're talking a reverse with the regular hand or the goofy hand, about moving that hand in that direction on the release. The regular hand would be more just a straight carrying it across. But for these, it would either be coming more behind your head, or you can kind of turn your body into it to help give yourself that momentum to get the shot to go in. Finally, the thing you're probably really waiting for is maybe you're missing shots in games because you're adjusting it to defenders. What should you do in those situations? There's two pretty simple solutions I have for you, and you can kind of bring in the things I've given you previously to take this to the next level and make it more effective. The first thing I would do is, if I got a defender in front of me, I would either A, want to try to finish higher on the backboard or wider. So to do that, you might want to put some ball spin on or carry your arm across your body a little more. Or finishing really high and soft off the backboard is a great way to get those shots off, because what that'll do is throw their positioning off, right? They're expecting you to come finish here, but then if you finish here, that's going to keep them from blocking the shot. So you just want to practice those and pay attention to where you're finishing on the backboard. Go ahead and work on different finishes to finish there. Go on, work on different finishes to finish way up there. And then finishes to finish more directly above the square right in the middle. And the other way you'll want to adjust your shot is a lot of times you feel like you need to get it off quicker, right? Beat your defender to the basket because you know you have the speed advantage. In those instances, I try to keep the ball tighter to the basket. So I try to finish just barely above that bottom corner of the square right there. And as you'll notice, you can almost barely squeak it in there if you put a little bit of spin and the right touch and angle. So those are all great things you can practice. So next I got a way for you to practice all this stuff. And then I've got a way for you to take all those things you're practicing and just your finishing around the rim next level. It's another YouTube video you're gonna love. What you could practice is really, really simple. Go back through this video and all the little different ways I told you of doing your finishes. Practice them, about 10 repetitions each way. So all you need to do for this is just start about 10 feet from the basket, 5 feet from the basket, get a dribble going, a little momentum into it. So it's a little more game-like, but you can get a lot of reps in quickly. Get your layup off. Do 10 of them on that side, 10 on the other side with your right hand, because this is the first thing I gave you. Then from there, you'll want to work on coming across the rim, right? Come this way, 10 of those, or you could do the baseline ones if those are giving you more problems, putting a little bit of spin on. Of course, doing that the other way with the right hand 10 times, either diagonally, 45 degrees, or coming baseline. Then you would want to work on your goofy hand finishes. Left hand on the right side, right hand on the left side, left hand goofy hand reverse, right hand goofy hand reverse, and then play around with like 2 different types of finishes, either really high or wide off the backboard, and then coming really tight and quick to the backboard. 10 repetitions of all those will take your finishing next level fast, especially if you're paying attention to what you're aiming for and making the adjustments. Again, go through this video as you're doing it. That'll help you make those adjustments and make more of those shots a ton. But the other YouTube video I told you that's gonna help you take this next level is 5 advanced finishing moves for around the rim. It's different ways of playing with your footwork, ball movement, things like that to take it next level so you can finish a little bit more like the best NBA players, Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, James Harden, guys like that. Click the link right here. That's gonna help you a ton. And then I also got another video that's gonna help you if you just need to work more on mastering your basic layups. And I'm gonna have one more here for you to master reverse layups. So you might wanna come back to this video and go through all those videos. If you do those, your finishing is gonna be next level really, really fast. Click that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell icon so you can catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in the next one.